So he got fired.
No, he retired. You got to do the air quotes. Retired.
Okay, so he retired.
Yeah. It said for misconduct allegations.
It was sexual misconduct.
It was sexual misconduct, but I think there were other forms of misconduct.
Do we have any details about that?
There's an article that I read earlier. I haven't memorized it or anything, but it just said that he's given passing down authority to Stephanie McMahon, and I think her husband, if I'm remembering correctly. I'm probably wrong, but whatever. Okay. And then, I guess Triple H is coming back as head of talent relations, whatever that means.
Wow. Okay. So Vince McMahon, quote unquote, retires because he's such a fucking slime ball. He's been a slime ball for literally decades, since the 70s.
Since even before I was born, since I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm surprised this hasn't happened way fucking sooner.
Yeah.
He's basically the Trump of pro wrestling.
Well, Trump was on pro wrestling. So.
Oh yeah, that's
I think he got stone cold stunnered, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh God, he's such a fucking narcissist, though. I'm sure there's probably been more.
There's more things Vince McMahon did.
Done
yeah.
Before this, okay, how long had it been going on, though?
Shit, I don't know. Okay, so the article said something like this particular shenanigans since the 2010s or something like that. This
one that we know of.
Yeah, just this one that's causing him to step down.
Oh,
but
jeez. I love pro wrestling, but it just sucks when something that's so good is being run by somebody so evil.
I know.
You know?
I know this sounds so fucking silly, but I kind of that I watched that really bad show, Young Rock.
Oh, yeah.
I really wish, The Rock's grandma was just in charge of everything.
Oh, I know, right? Damn, I used to watch it when I was a kid, though. Back when it was all the greats, The Rock and, Mankind.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes, exactly. God, in my fucking middle school, people would be walking around in Stone Cold t-shirts and stuff. But, yeah, my aunt got me into pro wrestling, but she was also really into figure skating. Ooh. So then, of course, I got into figure skating. And then I realized when she came out as bisexual that if you're into pro wrestling and figure skating, that means something. And so, shortly afterward, I discovered that same thing about myself. But that's not the point. The point is, Vince McMahon is a fucking slime ball, and I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah. Man, I'm not trying to give nobody credit for nothing. I'm just saying, he was there whenever I was a kid, and all of my favorite, wrestlers were a thing. But that kind of makes it more like a bad rash. It's that rash was with me when I went to the state fair. That rash was with me whenever I fucking won the Indy 500. And that rash was with me but now I don't have the rash anymore.
What the fuck?
And life can go on.
What kind of metaphor is this?
I don't fucking know. Vince McMahon is a rash. And now the rash is gone. Let's enjoy some wrestling.
Okay.
Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk. Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk. Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk. Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk, Sumo Punk.
Hi, this is Matt.
And this is Sabrina. And this is Furiosa. Say hi. Don't lick the microphone. And this is Sumo Punks. Thank you, Furiosa. You can go lay down now. Go on. Don't just sit there and stare at me.
She thinks you're going to give her something.
She thinks the microphone is a treat. is what she thinks.
I think she wants you
because
to give
I'm
her a
holding
treat.
it in my hand. You know, she probably thinks it's ice cream or something. Because that's what your mom does.
I think my mom shares ice cream with
I'm
you.
pretty sure that's what you do as well.
What, share ice cream with Fury?
I wouldn't put it past you.
I mean, I have.
I knew it.
Well, she wants some. It's dairy free.
You don't just give it to her because she wants it.
Well, she was looking at me like, please. She was saying, look at that face. How can you
That's
say
why
no to
she's
that
so
face?
spoiled.
She's
Because
not
y'all
even
are
spoiled.
always giving her people food. That's why she thinks she's a people.
She is a people. She's a furry people.
I'm a furry people, and you don't feed me ice cream.
I do too. What are you even talking about?
Okay, yeah, that is true. We have all kinds of awesome Basho coverage for you guys today, but first I did want to do a quick run through of the upcoming tournaments, especially since there were a couple of things that we forgot to mention when we did this on the last episode. So, first up is the Iron Wave Sumo Club's Iron Belly 2, the sequel. That's in Orlando, Florida, Saturday, August 6th at noon local time. Prizes will include a sweet-ass sword.
See, I was reading something that Cornelius had put, so I think it's like each winner of each weight class gets a sword.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if it's just the winner of open weight or the winner of each weight, but he made it sound like the winner of each weight class would get a sword.
We could get more details about that later.
But still, swords!
But just for right now, fucking sweet-ass swords! Then after that, Gagamaru, along with current European champion Amran Sikoridze, will be holding a sumo seminar in Pantego, Texas, which is basically just Arlington. This is going to be at the Arlington School of Self-Defense on Sunday, August 28th from 1 to 5 p.m., hosted by the Dallas Sumo Club and Dark Circle Sumo Club in collaboration with Inside Sport Japan. A bit of trivia that we forgot to mention last episode. Gagamaru, along with Asahisho, Tenkaiho, and Toyonoshima, were in a Japanese commercial for a Fitbit type product where they all play in a metal band. Asahisho played the guitar, and that's actually where we got our logo from for this podcast. Gagamaru played drums.
Yeah. And it actually looked like he knew what the hell he was doing. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. The music wasn't even that bad either.
It was kind of groovy. Like,
Groove metal.
A little groove metalish. It kind of had some Sepultura vibes there.
Yeah.
It got a little thrashy.
Then after that, we have the Consulates Cup at Dreamland in Dripping Springs, Texas, Saturday, September 3rd at 11 a.m. local time. Followed by U.S. Sumo Open at Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, California, Saturday, September 10th at 2 p.m. local. Beer City Sumo Open comes after that. That's going to be at City Built Brewing Company in Grand Rapids, Michigan, Saturday, October 1st at noon. And another reminder, it does say that they will have an authentic clay dohyo.
Man, that's got to be... I think there needs to be more training on clay dohyos.
And last but not last for the year, just last of the list that we have, is the All-American Sumo Classic at the Mr. America Sports Festival in Atlantic City, New Jersey, Saturday, October 8th at noon local time. And now that we have that out of the way, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's on everyone's mind. This goddamn never-ending plague knocking all of these stables out of the Nagoya Basho.
Total stable withdrawals by end of Basho. Taganora, right before the start of the Basho, which is Takayasu's stable. Deiwana Umi on day 7, which is Matakayumi. Naruto stable on day 8. Hanaragoma stable on day 9, which is Ichiyamamoto's. Sarogatake, Tamanoi, and Musashigawa on day 11, which includes Koto no Waka, Koto Eko, and Koto Shoho. Asakayama on day 12. Oitakaze, Katana Umi, and Isino Umi on day 13, which included Dayamami, Tsurugisho, Nishikigi, Tobizaru, Tamawashi, Endo, and Daisho. Then, on the very last day, Hakaku stable, Okina Umi and Hokuto Fuji were Fusensho, And even Hakaku himself was absent from the prize ceremony with Ichinojo. That's 15 dudes that had to withdraw just for Makuuchi by itself. That's somewhere between like 170 and 200 wrestlers overall.
Yeah, a lot of dudes. Last I saw before Hakaku's stable had to withdraw, it was, I think they said 20% of all
Yeesh.
pro sumo wrestlers had to
God
withdraw due to
damn.
COVID. Yeah, it's totally wrecking them over there.
Fucking sucks.
But we've already talked about that a bit. It sucks so bad. It's pretty fucking tragic.
I feel for those guys. I really do.
I do too. I know. And there's wrestlers who had tested positive who today, when I was watching the Basho from day 15, I remembered, oh yeah, he went up against that guy that tested positive. Oh yeah, he went up against that guy that tested positive.
Oh,
and just
God.
like watching all these matches of these Rikishi who had just wrestled COVID positive
Yeah.
people. I'm like, oh man, are they gonna like get sick tomorrow? Are they gonna
Well,
get long COVID? Are they gonna still have a sumo career? I don't know.
it's fucking shitty.
But you know what? Let's think about something a little more positive right now. Let's go ahead and just give a quick run through of who we picked for our
Fantasy Sumo. All right, so my fantasy sumo picks, of course, Yokozuna Terunofuji. My Ozeki was Takakesho. Sekewake Daisho. Komusubi Hoshoryu. My Maegashira 1 through 5 pick was Ichinojo.
foreshadowing.
Maegashira 6 through 11, Aoyama, and my Maegashira 12 through 17 pick was Nishiki Fuji.
And then, of course, my Yokozuna was Terunofuji. My Ozeki was Shodai. My Sekiwaki was Wakataka Kage. Komusubi was Abi. Maegashira 1 through 5 was Kiribaiyama. Maegashira 6 through 11 was Midori Fuji. And Maegashira 12 through 17 was Dayamami. And, of course, at the end, we will be tallying up scores to see who won between the two of us. But for now, why don't you go ahead and tell us how things ended up in Juryo?
Juryo. My boys in Juryo, and I love these two guys. But we didn't do a whole lot of coverage for Juryo this Basho just because it was just so bizarre, just all kinds of just wonkiness. So we
There
just
were
kind of
guys from Juryo coming up to Makuuchi just
Yeah,
because
so, I
there
mean-
weren't enough Makuuchi wrestlers.
so we kind of did a bit of Juryo coverage anyway.
There were guys from Makushita coming up to Juryo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool to see Akeseyama like kick the shit out of Tochimaru.
Yeah.
I like that. So, final scores for the Juryo boys that we keep track of. Enho got his Kachikoshi with 8 and 7, as did Atami Fuji. Hirada Umi did badass at 10 and 5. Hokuseiho did even better at 11 and 4. But it was ex-Makuuchi fuckboy Ruden who won the Juryo Yusho with 12 and 3. Oh god, there's some good Ruden stuff in here.
All the top Rishi on day 11 also happened to be the only ones who had obtained their Kachikoshi by the previous day, day 10. They include Nishikigi, Tobizaru, Ichinojo, and of course Terunofuji. However, Nishikigi and Tobizaru had to withdraw on day 13 due to Isanomi and Oitekaze stables getting infected with COVID. So,
It's
sucks
a
to be them.
total fucking shit show, but I guess the JSA is saying the show must go on. So indeed it does.
Yeah. All right. Why don't you go ahead and tell us about the notable bouts on day 11?
So on day 11, Terunofuji clamps down on Chiyomaru's leg right off the Tachiai and refuses to let go while Chiyomaru flails around wildly like, "Get off me, little shit!" Excellent Ashitori win for Terunofuji.
It kind of reminded me of those lions who catch the wildebeest by the leg, you know, and then the wildebeest is like, "Oh shit, I'm fucked. Oh shit."
Oh, God.
But nothing can be done about it. I mean, you're already lion food.
True. Poor Chiyomaru. Tsurugisho has 200 pounds on Midori Fuji, but that's not enough to stop the wily bulldog from getting a tight grip on his belt. The larger Rikishi got a one-handed grip on the back of Midori Fuji's mawashi, but didn't seem to know where to go from there, when suddenly Midori Fuji spins around and flips him over on his back with the Shitatenage.
Like a confused turtle.
Okay, we then saw Tamawashi go up against Kiribaiyama, grabbing him by the neck like he's goddamn Asuka from Evangelion, grunting with the intensity of his Nodowa. Kiribaiyama escapes his sadistic grasp briefly, only to be grabbed by the throat again by Tamawashi, who then slaps his ass down for a dramatic spinning Hatakikomi.
Well, he didn't have the beard anymore to break his fall, so he had to make sure he landed on his back.
I wish they would just let him keep the beard. It looks really good on him. Oh my God,
that would be so awesome. There's plenty of guys in amateur sumo who have beards.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It makes me think of like Vikings or something. You know what? We don't have to get into that. Tell us more.
Following that, we got Abi narrowly escaping Ichinojo's Okuradashi push-out attempt with some very slick Tawara dancing. He's clearly been working on his ring sense, but unfortunately for him, that was not enough. It took a moment for Ichinojo to realize that Abi was trying to subvert his fate, but he was still able to move just a bit quicker than his lanky foe to achieve his Okuradashi victory on the second try. Day 12. One of the first bouts of the day, we see Oho put up a good fight against the aggressive Meisei. They bash heads several times, but Oho's defenses didn't last for long as Meisei was eventually able to just Oshidashi his ass out. Tochinoshin rolled Nishiki Fuji like a fucking blunt. Just
lift that ass up.
Terutsushi's hungry for wildebeest again, going for Sadano Umi's leg. But Sadano Umi's own lionly instincts kick in, and he starts batting around Terutsushi like a playful cat. And then in a twist of irony, takes Terutsushi's leg with the Sotogake takedown.
Terutsushi looked pissed after that one.
Flipping his
he was
hair.
like flipping his hair. His hair was all loose and just like mad.
Yeah, he was pissed. Kiribaiyama pushes down on Uru's Tachiai, completely nullifying it, then starts attacking his shoulders and elbows to prevent him from mounting any effective pushing and thrusting attacks, culminating in a Hitakakomi slapdown win for Kiribaiyama. Yeah. Abi clears a fuck ton of distance with the Hinka from the Tachiai to give his long arms enough room for some brutal Supari before slamming Wakamoto Haru down with a Hiki Atoshi.
I'll never understand why some people are so against the Hinka.
Well,
I mean, it's clearly an effective maneuver, you know? I think some people are just butthurt that they keep losing from it.
Well, except for fucking Chiyoshoma. He's a fucking dastardly, Golem-esque fucking just... But he uses
He's
it like...
just an evil hobbit in your mind. You can't see him any other way.
But he's like the Hinka king. That's like his deal, you know? He uses like deception and subterfuge.
He got good at a move that is serving him well. I mean, are you really going to hold that against... Maybe people should stop complaining so much about the Hinka and start actually training to learn how to avoid being taken down by it.
Well, some people do. Not poor Uncle Toach. No. We'll get to that later. All right, Takakesho serves up a mean Nodowa to Nishikigi, pushing him all the way to the edge of the dohyo in one thrust. Nishikigi manages to escape briefly, but has no effective response and gets pushed out without putting up much of a fight. Oshidashi for Takakesho. God damn it.
Now I got you calling him that.
Lord Shodai captures his Kachikoshi with the strength of the billy goat as he headbutts Aoyama off the dohyo. And with this win, Shodai is no longer Kadoban.
Yeah! Long live Shodai!
Day 13. Terunofuji tried going for yet another leg pick, but Oho, who is 7 inches taller and 150 pounds heavier, simply grabbed the back of Terunofushi's mawashi and snatched his ass down with an Owatadashinage win, gaining his Kachikoshi and giving Terunofuji his Makokoshi.
Ooh, damn. It's like the little lion went after a bull elephant this time and just got squashed.
Midori Fuji takes a series of nodowas from Takakesho while he attempts to get a grasp on his mawashi. Takakesho tries for a pull down, which Midori Fuji nimbly avoids before taking even more nodowa abuse. At the edge of the ring, Midori Fuji realizes he's not going to get Takakesho's belt, so he decides to just Hitaka Komi his ass over the Tawara.
I like that term, nodowa abuse. I think that's going to be the name of my next band. I was actually contemplating some fucking silly shit yesterday about playing death grips every time Midori Fuji gets a win. Because,
that makes sense.
He's usually got that lockdown on the mawashi. But with this match, he proves he's capable of more than just belt throws. So now I got to find something else.
Chiyoshoma, who's primarily a pusher-thruster, manages to get a two-handed grip on Shimano Umi's belt, which immediately starts to unravel. Shimano Umi also has a grip on Chiyomaru's belt, and I'm sure they both remembered what happened between Terunofuji and Wakamoto Haru, because it looks like they both stand there for a moment, contemplating the best way to move forward, literally and figuratively. Ultimately, Chiyomaru prevails when he decides to pull down his opponent with an Owatadashinage, a rare move for Chiyomaru. Though he already has his Makikoshi, he's not doing nearly as bad as Shimano Umi, who only has one win after 13 days.
Oof. Shimano Umi just got married, right?
He did.
I wonder if that has something to do with his poor performance.
Do you think he's just just sexed out? Just all of his oomph that he would have.
Do they typically wait until after marriage to start doing it in Japan?
Well, I was about to say, and that's not like
I don't think anybody does that.
I was about to say, but if you just got married, why not? Fuck it. That's what I'd be doing.
Okay, well, I'll keep that in mind.
Tochinoshin drove forward like the brave forces of Rohan.
Oh, God.
But the dastardly Chiyoshoma gave him a heinous hinka, grabbed his mawashi, and then executed an excruciating Owatadashinage in service of Mordor.
This has got to stop.
No.
This
Never.
is getting ridiculous.
Chiyoshoma's Grima Wormtongue. All right.
This is what happens when you get a couple of nerds into a sport.
It's true. All right. We then get to witness 5 fucking Fusensho in a row as Tobizaru, Endo, Dayamami, Tamawashi, and Nishikigi all had to withdraw on day 13 due to COVID.
Yeah. And Fusensho, if you don't know already, is when someone wins by default because their opponent had to withdraw from the match, or in this case, the entire rest of the tournament. Even the audience was gasping as they announced the 4th one, and then definitely with the 5th one.
Jeez.
Just 5 of them back to back to back.
Well, you might as well put them back to back, just get them out of the way,
True. I never thought of it like that. That's a good point.
After seeing that depressing series of withdrawals, we see Abi going back to his old pushing-pulling tricks, which worked just dandy for a Hiki Atoshi win against Hokuto Fuji.
Nice.
Day 14. First bout of the day, Onosho and Nishiki Fuji have both been doing quite well this basho. They end day 14 both at 9-5 after Onosho swiftly delivers a Yorikiri frontal push-out to Nishiki Fuji. Ruden was called up from Juryo to face Myogiru and just bullied him right out of the ring for a Yorikiri victory, as well as the Juryo Yusho, meaning he's the Juryo champion and will likely be regaining a spot back in the Makuuchi division come September. However, as we were watching a live stream of this match, the accompanying chat was overwhelmingly anti-Ruden.
Oh, yes.
And dozens of people were just mercilessly dunking on him.
In fact, we have some examples of the sick burns we witnessed. And if you recognize any of these, you'll know whose live stream we were watching. Ryuden thinks minions are funny.
Ruden gives people COVID for Christmas.
Ryuden shits other people's pants.
Ruden waits for his wife to open the door for him.
Ryuden is not forklift certified.
Ruden does not own an air fryer.
Ryuden uses other Rikishi's shampoo and never buys his own.
When Ruden wants a Hot Pocket, which is often, he puts it in the toaster.
Ryuden just eats the chip dip with his hands after sneezing into it.
Ruden walks on the road when there is a sidewalk nearby to use.
Ryuden leaves empty rolls of toilet paper on purpose.
When Ruden is hosting at his home, he only puts out microwave French fries.
Ew. Ryuden's car runs purely on coal.
Ruden likes eating dog food. He says it's crunchy.
Ryuden never signals before he makes a turn.
Ruden ate my grandma's last Girl Scout cookie.
Ryuden farts in elevators when he sees someone getting on.
Ruden's favorite food is microwave fish.
Ew. Ryuden makes old women help him cross the street.
Ruden eats your lunch in the break room and then claims he didn't see your name on it.
Ryuden makes it his goal to clog the toilet.
Booden. Boo.
Yeah, that last one, that's all it was. It was just Booden. Boo. So apparently, we here at Sumo Punks are not the only ones who like to dunk on Ryuden all the time.
Well, he's no Chiyoshoma.
I don't know. Who's worse, Chiyoshoma or Ryuden?
I don't know. At first, it was kind of like Chiyoshoma was like dime store Ruden, but now like Ruden's just a dime store Chiyoshoma.
You know what? Why don't our listeners tell us who they think is worse, Ryuden or Chiyoshoma? Or if you think that these guys are the best, tell us that too. You know where to find us.
Chiyoshoma stan.
If not, we'll remind you at the end of the episode.
Yeah, meet us in the street.
Why don't you tell us about the next bout?
After that, we get Asano Waka coming up from Juryo to give Terutsuyoshi a brutal henka as he swings him around with a full 180 degrees and thrusts him out.
Nice.
A Tsukadashi frontal thrust out win for Asano Waka, who ends the day Nanasho Nanahai. That's 7 wins and 7 losses.
And if you're unaware, the basic goal is to get at least 8 wins. That's more wins than losses after 15 days. So Nanasho Nanahai is 7 wins, 7 losses. You're going to get either 1 more win or 1 more loss.
The anticipation kills me.
Yeah.
Oho was aggressive, but Midori Fuji was downright rabid. Oho was definitely trying to use his height advantage, defending Midori Fuji's probing attacks, up until the pit bull was able to get an inside left grip on Oho's Mawashi and pushed him out like a stubborn turd. Aoyama and Chiyoshoma were both at the edge of Makekoshi on day 14 when Aoyama made the fatal mistake of attempting to headbutt Chiyoshoma from the side, causing Chiyoshoma to simply swing around to his left and gain a Tsuki Otoshi win that gave Aoyama his Makekoshi and helped him stave off his own Makekoshi for 1 more day.
See, that was a smart move, actually. There's nothing tricky about that. Aoyama was in a shitty position that he shouldn't have been in, and
I have to admit,
took advantage of it.
Yeah, it's true. That was kind of a good throw, but still. Dog act!
Oh, come on.
I have to steal that from Sumo Mainichi. It's just the perfect descriptor.
Oh, because I won't let you use the Lord of the Rings references anymore. You're going to steal other podcasts' references and nicknames for the Rikishi.
Hey, it works. Similarly, Ura ends up Nanasho Nanahai, that's 7 wins and 7 losses, after giving Hokuto Fuji a big henka, a good Oshidashi shove, and then handing down Hokuto Fuji his own Makekoshi. Meisei delivers a Yorikiri that crushes Ichinojo's Yusho dreams.
For now.
Both Wakamoto Haru and Kiribayama fall out of the ring at the same time, and the Gyoji gives the win to Waka, even though the replay clearly shows him hitting first. The judges call for a rematch. Both Rikishi go at each other with reckless abandon, like hissing, pissed-off geese honking and flapping at each other. Wakamoto Haru recovers against several throw attempts by Kiribayama until they clinch near the Tawara, until Kiri delivers a Yorita Oshi that crushes Wakamoto Haru so hard, he sends himself flipping over Wakamoto Haru's lifeless carcass.
Yeah, that was actually...
That was pretty cool.
That was pretty cool.
That win puts Kiribayama at Nanasho Nanahai 7-7.
That was a really fun match to watch because...
That really was.
It was kind of a train wreck because when you watch the replay, you can clearly see that Wakamoto Haru hit first.
Yeah.
You know, but whatever.
Couldn't tell if it was the Shinitai or what the hell.
In the replay, you see Wakamoto Haru, the top of his foot hits and his forearm hits before Kiribaiyama even lands. So, I don't know if it's another dead body rule thing, but...
I don't know. It was just a wonky call. Well, Hoshoryu then dosi-dos Tochinoshin out for an easy Owatadashinage victory, leaving Toch at 7-7. Nanasho Nanahai. Abi gains his Kachikoshi by Hitakakomi against Chiyotairu, giving Chiyo his Makekoshi. Takakesho then tries to perform a Kotenage on Wakataka Kage, but Waka is able to slip under him to get the belt, captures Taka's side, and starts pumping Takakesho out, which culminates in an Okuradashi victory for Wakataka Kage.
Yes, pump it. Pump up the jams. Pump it up while your feet are stomping. Wakataka Kage got Takakesho's booty on the floor, which made his day.
The cushions started flying, one of them hitting Shodai in the back of the head, as Terunofuji himself went flying off the dohyo from a Hiki Atoshi thrust down administered by our Lord and Savior Shodai. Teru looked fucking pissed, and his knee looked like it was hurting as he was walking down the Hanamichi.
I don't want to jinx Shodai by gloating too much or anything, but I will say that if he wins tomorrow's match, he'll have double digits. He'll have 10 wins and 5 losses. And that's one of the things that a lot of people will criticize about Shodai is, well, he's no Zeki, but he never gets a double-digit win, which he has in the past.
Yeah. Quite a few times.
Shodai knows what he's doing, okay? He specifically does this shit to piss anti-Shodai people off. Because he's trying to teach them a lesson, okay? It's all about humility. But anyway, as of the end of day 14, the top contenders are Terunofuji and Ichinojo at 11 wins and 3 losses each, followed closely by Takakesho at 10 wins and 4 losses. Now, it is possible that if both Teru and Ichi lose on day 15 and Takakesho wins, there could be a 3-way tie for the Yusho, which will then have all 3 of them battling it out with each other. We also have quite a few Rikishi with Nanasho Nanahai, that's 7 wins, 7 losses. Of course, the basic goal is to get a Kachikoshi, which is more wins than losses, and to avoid Makekoshi, which is more losses than wins. The Nanasho Nanahai wrestlers as of day 14 include Asano Waka, which is one of the Juryo guys that came up into Makuuchi, because everybody's getting withdrawn from Makuuchi. Kageyaki, another Juryo guy. Yutakayama, Chiyoshoma, Ura, Kiribaiyama, and Tochinoshin. Now, let's see what happens in day 15.
Day 15. Mitoryu came up from Juryo to match with Shimano Umi, probably the easiest Makuuchi opponent he could have for this Basho. Yeah. Shimano Umi made the rookie mistake of not paying attention to where his feet were going, stepping out of the ring just briefly, but it was enough to give Mitoryu his 9th win. Shimano Umi ends the tournament at only 1 win, 14 losses.
Oof.
Poor sideburns.
You remember Meisei in March?
Yeah.
Yeah, Shimano Umi is basically the March Meisei.
Poor guy. Tochinoshin and Yutakayama both at 7-7 going into their bout, knowing one of them would get their Kachikoshi and the other his Makekoshi. Toch had no defense against Yutakayama's immediate Nodowa attack, which ended the match fairly quickly with Tochinoshin at 7 wins, 8 losses, and Yutakayama at 8-7. Ura and Ichinojo were pretty evenly matched, each with 3 prior wins against each other, as they went into their match on day 15. Ichinojo has been dominating the Nagoya race, so everyone watching was at the edge of their seat. If he lost and Terunofuji won in his later bout against Takakesho, then Teru would win the Yusho. If Ichi lost and Terunofuji also lost against Takakesho, that would mean a 3-way tie between the 3 Rikishi, prompting a playoff. And if Ichinojo won but Terunofuji lost, the Yusho would be his. On top of that, Ura was sitting at 7 wins and 7 losses going into this match. The tension was quite high. Off the tachiai, Ichinojo immediately gets a left outside grip on Ura's mawashi and starts pumping him towards the edge. Then just leans him over and puts him to bed. Yorikiri win for Ichinojo, with the finishing record of 12 wins and 3 losses. Now his fate rests on the Yokozuna and the Ozeki.
It really did look like he was just laying him down, though. And he was pumping him pretty fucking hard. I was very tempted to write a body joke for this section, but I refrained just because I don't want everyone to think I'm a complete pervert.
She is.
I know you got opinions about that. Why don't you just continue?
Kiribaiyama and Chiyoshoma were both nanasho nanahai as they went into their bout, but it was Kiribaiyama who won his kachikoshi with a brutal Watanage.
Yeah.
Midori Fuji gets a double-digit winning record against Hoshoryu with the Watashi Komi win. Although on the replay it did look like Midori Fuji and Hoshoryu hit the ground at the same time, and even one of the commentators mentioned a possible Toru Naoshi rematch right after the Gyoji call was made. But the judges didn't budge, and Midori Fuji ended with a 10-5 record, Hoshoryu at 9-6.
Midori Fuji has been doing so
hell yeah.
well since he got to Makuuchi. He's basically like the new and improved Inho.
I still like Inho.
I know, I still like Inho too, but oh my god, Midori Fuji.
Our venerable and sublime Lord Shodai was also captured a double-digit winning record against Wakataka Kage with a Hitake Komi slapdown, proving how much he deserves his Ozeki position while pushing Waka face first into the dirt. Shodai ends the Nagoya Basho at 10-5, Wakataka Kage at 8-7.
He really did, though. Like, did you see that match? He just shoves his face into the clay.
He did.
Like,
that
with
was
his hand on the back of his head. It was fucking gnarly.
And then just took his lunch money. And then the match everyone had been waiting for. Takakesho versus Terunofuji. They collide at the tachiai, and Takakesho tried for a pull down, but Teru resists. Takakesho then goes full battering ram mode and bashes Terunofuji over and over and over again, inching him closer and closer to the edge of the ring. Before Teru even knows it, his left foot steps backward across the Tawara as he tries to make one last desperate swipe at his foe, which did send Takakesho tumbling off the dohyo, but it mattered not. Takakesho bashed his way to victory, with Ozeki and Yokozuna ending the tournament with an 11-4 record, and giving the Maegashira Ichinojo the Yusho.
Yeah!
Yay!
Ichinojo!
I was so stoked. I was like, I woke up and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, you know what? Ichinojo won. This is going to be a good day.
Yeah!
And it was.
You know what? If Ichinojo could do it, I can do it. Well,
Hell yeah. Well.
some things. If Ichinojo can win the Nagoya Basho, then I can probably get up and eat breakfast within the next 2 hours, as I am horribly bad at doing. We do have some facts about Ichinojo that we wanted to share since he is the winner of the Nagoya Basho. Yeah. We thought that people who weren't familiar with him might want to get a little more familiar. Yeah. So, you might want to know that he is 29 years old. He is 6 feet 3.5 inches tall and 465 pounds. His birth name is Alton Kayag Ichinorov. He was born in Mongolia, his family are nomadic, and he basically grew up on horseback.
Yeah.
In fact, he's the first Mongolian from a nomadic tribe to become a pro sumo wrestler. Yeah. The very first one. As a kid, he was a bulk wrestler in Mongolia, winning the title in his province at age 14. He moved to Japan in 2010 to start high school, started practicing judo first, but then got noticed by some people on his high school sumo team who convinced him to do sumo instead. He became an amateur yokozuna before he started pro sumo, and he's only the second foreign-born rikishi to get Makushita Tsukidashi, meaning he was allowed to start wrestling in the 4th division from the bottom, which is only 3 divisions down from Makuuchi, which is the top. So most Rikishi, when they first get drafted into Pro Sumo, they start at the very bottom rung, which is...
Jonokuchi.
Jonokuchi, that's right, Jonokuchi. And then it's Jonidan, right?
Jonidan.
And then after that is Sandanme.
Sandanme.
And then Makushita.
Makushita. Then Juryo, and then Makuuchi.
Yes. He is the 5th wrestler weighing over 200 kilograms to win the Makuuchi Yusho. The others being Onokuni, Konishiki, Akebono, and Musashi Maru. His favorite foods include fried chicken and sweets, and he absolutely hates curry.
Hates it.
He's a big fan of Maria Nishiuchi, who is a Japanese model, actress, and musician, and he also loves archery and basketball, which I think Hakuho was really into basketball as well.
And Kakeru. Apparently, like,
They're
basketball...
all into basketball.
No, like, basketball is super popular in Mongolia, and, like...
Really?
Pretty much all the Mongolian Rikishi are all obsessed with basketball.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
See, there's so much going on in sumo, you can learn a new thing, like, every day. Well, I guess it's time for us to tally up our fantasy scores. So why don't you tell me what you got, and I'll tell you what I got.
Okay.
That sounds a little foreboding.
So, my fantasy scores.
Drum
and
roll.
I'm just going to add these all up. Terunofuji with 11 wins. Takakesho with 11 wins. Daisho with 6. Hoshoryu with 9, Ichinojo with 12, Aoyama with 6, Nishiki Fuji with 10 brings me to a total of 65. Sabrina, you want to read your picks?
I guess I had Terunofuji with 11 wins, Shodai with 10, Wakataka Kage with 8, Abi with 8, Kiribayama with 8, Midori Fuji with 10, Dayamami with 2 for a total of 57. I don't know how you keep doing this to me.
What's funny too is, so there was the league that we had with the group chat.
Yeah.
And in that group chat, it was Caleb Backus that won.
Yeah.
And then there's Nemo's Discord server, and that's the one that I won. So at least I won I won something this Basho.
Yeah, but they don't give out prizes or anything. Not yet.
Oh,
anyway.
man, it's bragging rights. You don't know how much that's worth to me. I want to gloat. Like, gloating is, like, the funnest thing in the world. I'm just like,
Are you going to make me, like, rub your feet or something while you gloat at me?
nah, it's
Since
just
you...
too mean.
Okay.
That's just too
I'll rub your feet anyway.
Okay.
Okay. Well, as we said recently, we've been trying to do some new things with our Basho coverage, kind of mix it up a little bit. So to end the show, we decided to go ahead and put in an award ceremony. We are calling this the Superb and Absurd Sumo Awards, or SASA. SASA works, right?
Sassies.
The Sassies?
They're the sassies.
There's 4 categories right now. If you have any suggestions for other categories, definitely let us know. You know where to find us. First off, we have the Rarest Kamarite winner. Now, this award goes to the Rikishi who uses the least commonly used Kamarite or finishing move in the tournament. And the winner is Hokuto Fuji's Hikake arm-grabbing force-out on day 10 versus Aoyama. Yay, Hokuto Fuji! Is that like the halftime award show, halftime show?
Yeah.
Is this when like P. Diddy comes out on the stage and like twerks on Madonna or something? I don't know what happens at award shows. I don't watch that shit.
Yeah.
I only make up fake ones for my podcast. That's the only thing I know about award shows. Next up, we have the Crowd Crasher Award. This award goes to the Rikishi, or in rare cases, a Gyoji, who tumbles from the dohyo and causes the most chaotic collision with one or more spectators in the crowd, which includes any seated Gyojis, Shinpans, other Rikishi, or rich people who actually bought the expensive-ass tickets to sit next to the dohyo. And the winner is Takarafuji on day 4 versus Chiyotairyu, where Taka gets hurled into his own oyakata.
damn, just the luck of it all.
Next up, we have the most notable audience member. This one goes to exactly what it sounds like, the most conspicuous person in the crowd. And the winner is all the spectators who showed up knowing that COVID was wreaking havoc on the Rikishi, but still were too lazy to wear their masks correctly. I swear I saw more noses hanging out there than like a toucan sanctuary or something. I don't know. Something that has a lot of noses. An anteater farm. A fucking...
It reminds me of like that thing where they were comparing, wearing your mask below your nose to like, just sporting your dong above the waist.
Oh yeah, just underwear. Like hanging your dick out over the top of your pants.
Every time I just think of everyone's noses as dicks when I see that.
Dick noses. And the last award of the night, we have the worst Gyoji call, which is also exactly what it sounds like. And the winner is... Day 8, Wakamoto Haru versus Terunofuji. Tate Gyoji Inosuke wins this award by not making the call to pause the bout so that Wakamoto Haru's unraveling mawashi could be fixed while both Rikishi were just standing there, and instead chose to do so as the two Rikishi had once again started performing aggressive maneuvers, causing all manner of chaos. And with that, we end this episode? We end this episode. We're all tired after the Nagoya Basho. You know where to find us. We're all over the social media, Facebook, Instagram. If you try to look us up on Twitter, make sure you put it as Punk Sumo, because why?
You fucked it up.
I did. I fucked up the Twitter. Make sure you're always spelling punks with an X. You can also email us at sumopunks@gmail.com. We have a Redbubble page. Literally just search for Sumo Punks. Did I miss anything? Am I forgetting to say something? I can't. Oh, if you like the show, give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you are currently listening to this on. If you did not like the show, go read a book or something. I don't know.
And vote for us anyway.
Sure.
Because fuck the system, that's why.
Yeah! Fuck the system! Unionize the Rikishi! All right, we'll see you guys later.
Bye.